Alright, let's go. Second one of these for general maths. It's about bearings and non-right angle trigonometry. I'm not sure whether that hyphen is in the right place, but it's all good. So here's the question for you to pause and have a go at. James walks for 4.5 kilometers on a true bearing of 65 degrees true. He then walks the next 3 kilometers on a true bearing of 325 degrees true and sets up camp. So we're trying to find how far directly is James's camp from his original starting point, and at what bearing is the camp from the starting point. So press pause and have a go yourself. The key to solving these problems is drawing a accurate and readable diagram. So we'll start with a compass rose with north, and this is where James started his journey. So he's going 4.5 kilometers, true bearing of 65 degrees. So let's put him here, 65 degrees from north for 4.5 kilometers. So we've used these two pieces of information. He then walks the next 3 kilometers at this other bearing. So I'll draw another set of compass rows. And I'm going 325, so that's 35 degrees away from 360, and it's going for 3 kilometers till it gets to the place where he sets up camp. Okay, so I've used all this information. Question 1 asks me to find this distance. So having a look at the triangle so far, I just know 2 sides, and I'm questioning, is this a right angle? So we can do a little bit of work. I know that this angle will be 55 degrees, just because I know that these two make up a right angle. And I also know that this will be 65 degrees, since I've got a Z formed here. So this little internal angle will be 25 degrees. Okay, so this angle here is not actually 90 degrees, it's only 80 degrees. So originally, when you looked at this problem before knowing this was 80 degrees, you may have thought, does this triangle contain a right angle? You might have thought yes. Does it involve finding an angle? No, I'm just trying to find this side. So you might have been thinking, hey, let's use Pythagoras theorem. But now, from doing a little bit of work, you know that this triangle does not contain a right angle. So to try and find this distance, you're left with 2 choices, cosine or sine rule. Okay, and need to answer the question, does the problem involve all 3 sides of the triangle? Well, I know these 2 sides, and I'm trying to find this side. So yes, it does involve all 3 sides, so I need to be using the cosine rule. So in these multi-step problems, it's a good idea sometimes to just extract the important information out of the diagram and write down the rule we're trying to use. My recommendation is always have the unknown as C. So in terms of labeling this triangle, here's C. So this is angle C, and these can be A and B in any order. Okay, so substituting in all these values. Okay, so to find this unknown, I just need to square root both sides and I'm good to go. So I end up getting approximately 4.96 kilometers. To answer part 2, we need to read the question carefully. It says, at what bearing is the camp from the starting point? So from this starting point, what direction do I need to go to get to the camp? I need to go at that little angle. I don't really have any way of finding that angle directly, but if I knew this angle, I can subtract it from 65 to find that bearing. So again, I'm going to draw just a small triangle with the important information from the diagram. Then I'm trying to find this angle theta. So in this scenario, I could use either the sine or cosine rule to find that angle, but I'm going to use the sine rule because it's going to be a bit easier. Again, always have my unknown as C. So lowercase c here, and I'm going to choose these two as b. So I'm using the sine rule with the angles on top because I know I'm trying to find an angle. Filling these in. Now it's just a case of solving for theta. So I end up with 36.56 as my angle theta. But remember, to find the bearing, we intended to subtract theta from 65. Okay, so we end up getting a bearing of 28.44 degrees. Okay, put a 0 in front of it because a bearing and a t at the end, and it's all sorted. So the most important things are drawing a diagram where you can actually add some additional information and extracting out those smaller triangles. So if you have any more questions, just post them on the Facebook forum and I'll do up video solutions for them. Hope it helps.